so we are going to go over this because it's kind of similar to what we're going to do. And then we're going to look at some examples from this packet that I've given you. We don't have time for that I've given you. So when you go to do the Get More Math, maybe you'll have an idea how to do it. All right. We are turning word problems as multiple representations. So we have seen it in a table. We have seen it in a graph. We have seen equations, right? So we're going to put all of those together. Here's our word problem. We need to come up with an equation. If you can start with your equation, you are a good chunk of the way there. Everything else is so much easier after that. So remember, yes. So B, not only is it the y-intercept, it is also our starting point. So no matter what the word problem says, starting point or starting value, okay? It's where your graph starts, right? It's the beginning. So when you're reading a word problem, you're going to know whatever they started with goes right there. And then the M is our slope, right? Not only is it slope, but it's also rate of change. Okay, so it's how much something is changing. So this will usually say per day or each week, something like that. Okay? And that's going to help us. And then once we have the equation, we can go straight to the graph. And then once we have the equation, so equation is your first bet. Even if the Get More Math assignment does not ask for equation, it's probably a good idea to write it down because it's going to help you. All right, let's see what our equation would be for this giraffe. It's born. So what do you think that 6 is going to go?
The B.
The B. It's its beginning. It's its starting point. Right? It's 6 feet tall when it's born. Then it says it grows an average of half a foot each month. Half a foot each month. What did I tell you to look for? Each. So that's going to be our multiplying. That's going to go right in here. Now we have an equation. We can graph it just from here if we needed to. What's my starting point? 6. Put a dot. Slope is what?
Over 1 down 2. Wait.
Up 1. Oh, go up or down first. Up 1 over 2. So that would be the next point. Okay, so I can, do a little sketch for what my graph might look like from here. Now, is the table going to give me more points to use so it could be more accurate? Yes. But you can do it with just the equation. Now, on the Get More Math, you will have ones like this that you have to fill in a table. So how do we fill in a table? Pretty easy. I guess first we can label our graph. So X is going to be X is our months, which means Y must be height of the giraffe. So in the table, X is months, height is Y. So process, what does that mean? That's pretty simple. That's taking this equation and we're going to replace the X each time with one of these numbers. So I'm going to turn it into a decimal just to make it easier to use. So we don't have to convert it to a decimal every time. Okay, so I'm going to take these X's and they're going to replace. I'm just making numbers up. I'm trying to see if y'all catch on. Good job. You fell for it. Not really. We're going to replace the X. So the 0.5 is fine. And then we replace the X with which number first? 0. Then we do plus 6. And then we do it again. 0.5, and instead of X, I'm going to put 1 plus 6. And this pattern is going to repeat. We did for proportional last year. Very good. The ones we did last year didn't have a plus at the end, but we did do this last year. Very good. Good job. Okay, and we're just going to follow that pattern. I'm going to replace that X every time with the X from the list. So this one is a 2. So I'm going to put a 2. This one is a 3. 4. So we put 4. 5. And so forth and so forth. So when you are doing this part, this is what you will do. You will fill this in.
So your days would be the X and
This would be your X, this would be your Y, and you'll plug this into your calculator so you can fill in that missing part. And we'll practice that in just a second, but. So we're going to type this in. Remember, type it in just like you see it. 0.5 parentheses 0 plus 6. 6. Then, do I need to retype all of this?
no.
No. Copy it by highlighting it blue, hit enter, go over, select the number that you want to change. Don't hit delete, just type in the new number. So 1. See, and it replaced it. If you hit delete, it like moves everything in the wrong direction.
There you go. Is it because the 0.5 and the X multiply together and then add the 6?
Basically. 7.
7.5.
Good. You start to see a little pattern here.
Yeah.
8.5, 9. And that works because this isn't a counting by ones, right? If this skipped around like 1, 15, 25, then you wouldn't see a pattern here. But okay, now that we have more perfect points, we can check. Do I want to use this one, 1 and 6.5? No, we don't use 0.5s, right? Because we can't accurately measure it. 2 and 7?
Yes.
Okay, so over 2, up 7. Oh, look, we already have a dot there. Do I want to use this one? No. What about this one?
Yes.
Okay, over 4, up 8. Oh, look, did we do pretty good? We did. And I can use the 6, over 6, up 9. Oh, got a little off there, but not too bad. So having the points, you can make it more accurate. But we were able to graph it without, right?
Yes.
So, okay. Now, just to reiterate, these are not just numbers anymore. We're turning them into something. So slope. What did slope mean when we were talking about our word problem? It's not just 1/2. What does it represent?
Each month will grow.
The growth each month, right? And to be more specific, it grew 1.5 feet per month. So it's not just a number, it's not just 1.5, it actually represents something. What about the y-intercept?
It's
The 6 when it was born, right? So it's height at birth, right? So it was 6 feet at birth.
How'd you do that something?
Pretty quick. Okay. Now, we're going to look at this packet I've given you. Okay. First thing, I've been changing this a lot today. Open it up. We're going to cross out number 4. And we're going to cross out number 5.
the whole thing.
Yep, just the 2. We're going to do the front page and the back. Just trust me. I told you.
Is it that stressful?
It has been. So we
You?
no.
One.
I know how to do it just fine. So yeah, we adapt. All right. So again, we are given a word problem. What do we need to come up with first? What was the first thing we came up with? The equation. Notice that it doesn't really ask for an equation for this one, right? But I'm going to need it to figure out my graph. I'm going to need it to fill this in. So let's go ahead and come up with it. So on your notebook paper, you're going to have to write the equation down, even if it doesn't ask for it. Like when you do your homework tonight. If you have one of these, yeah, you want to write the equation down because you're going to need it. Even though it doesn't say, give me this equation. And it will. Some of them will ask specifically, write an equation in slope-intercept form. They might ask. All right. Farmer Pisquet started with 175 jespils. So remember, these are nonsense. Huh? That's your B. Very good. That's how much he started with. Remember, we talked about the starting amount is your B. Okay? And then it says every day he ate 5 more of them. Yes, so this is another one we could add to the list. Every day, right? So that tells me that we're multiplying by the X and the 5 is the M. So I just found out what my X is. The X is day. That means your Y is whatever these guess bills are. So the equation should look something like this. Y equals 5X plus, oh wait, he ate. Minus 175. Good. So this is the equation we're going to use to fill in this chart. Okay, to find some pairs of numbers. So you could do 0, 1, 2. That's totally fine. But let's look at the graph. Is 0, 1, and 2 going to help us? No, because look at our X's. They're pretty big. So I need to find something that might actually help me. Yeah, we could do, this one counts by 2s. But it's okay. Look what we can have in common. They both have a 10, don't they? This is 10. So I could do 10, right? The next one is 20, so let's do that one. Okay, and that should at least help us because they have those in common. $10, $20. Okay, and then we could just pick any other number that we want. 30.
30's not.
It's on the top ones. So remember, all you need is 2 points, right? To help make your graph.
So the third one's just whatever you want.
Yeah. Like, and if it was a graph that looked like this, what numbers should we use? 0, 1, 2, 3. Use easy ones, right? If your graph has a normal scale, just use that. And you will get some that have just plain old scales. So just use basic numbers. But I need different numbers to help me. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We have the formula now, or the equation, -5. Instead of x, what am I going to put? 10. Okay, then you just type this into your calculator, and that's the answer that's going to go here. So, -5 times 10 plus 175. You're going to type it in just like that. What'd you get?
125.
125. Okay, what about for the next one? Perfect. And the next one? Perfect. All right. So then you would hit enter on this part, hit enter, the box will turn green, you know you did it right. Once you do it right, then you check your graphs. Well, remember what I told you is the first thing we want to find that's easy. Y-intercept, because it requires no work. So these should all have a y-intercept of 175. Does this one? About, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's not going to help me. They should all have a negative slope. Is that true? Oh, so that's not going to help me. So now I have to match these points. So when x is 10, what should the y be? 125. So let's check. X is 10, the y should be 125. Ooh, maybe.
Plus 120.
Yeah, but it's counting by 20, so that could be. X is 10.
Close to 80.
Yeah, that's way off, because that would be 140. Is that even close to 125? No, so it can't be B. X is 10. It should be close to 125.
It's like one.
Whoa, we're way down there. So it can't be that one. X is 10. Still way down there. So I didn't even need the other two. I was able to prove it with just that one alone. It's A. And let me show you something else. Watch. Watch. What about this? Let's see. Boom. Boom. I went down 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So down 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 120. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Should be 25.
Oh, 5. So yeah, 25. And see if you get close. 120 divided by 25. 4.8. Pretty close, right? Because this is hard to, it's hard to tell, but see how they're all kind of a little off? So it's not perfect, but you could always check it with your slope. Because we know how to do that. All right, flip it over. Okay, the other type of problems, you're going to have this. Now, when I gave these to people last week, a lot of times people got stuck. And they were like, I don't know what I'm doing. Because they weren't paying attention to what it was asking. So, if it's asking for M, remember each box is a section. Go ahead. So you have to get each part right. So M is what?
15.
Well, what is M represent? I'm sorry. Slope.
Oh, the M.
Okay. So in each section there'll be a little box like this, right? And you have to get each section right. So slow down and read what it's asking for. Because what was happening a lot was people were typing the whole equation in there. And then you get it wrong. So slow down and read it. The B is the y-intercept. Then once you have the M and the B, you can write the equation. Okay? So we'll start with my y-intercept because that is easy. And it is 15. And with these, you have to hit enter on each box, right, to check it. Slope, it's positive. I'm going to find 2 points. This is a good one. It's really far, but it's a good one. Okay. 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Up 40. Over this kind of by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 40 over 5 comes out to be 8. Okay. You should be able to use your graph to fill in the following. When x is 0, what is y?
15.
15. When x is 5, y is? Go over to 5.
55.
Yeah, 55.
Oh, I suppose that doesn't count.
If you don't know how to read a graph, then yes, you can plug it into your equation, right?
Yeah.
Y equals 8x plus 15. Now, there is 2 of these on your assignment. They have a lot of parts, so slow down, okay? 2 questions, that's it. Because it has so many parts. So slow down, take your time, make sure you get each part right, otherwise you have to redo a whole nother question. The last part says, use your equation, we just did this with our table, to determine the number of days. Days is the X or Y? Everybody should know. He's not keeping secret information. It tells you in your table. Days is the X. It also says it up here in the words. So it's there for you. To the whole number, that will take him to have 30 quecks. So, yeah. Here's my equation, right? Y equals 8x plus 15. I'm replacing the x or the y with 30. The y, because it's y. 30 is the y. You replace that. Now this is a 2-step equation from 7th grade. Draw a line. Yep, got to get that constant out of there. So we do the opposite on both sides. 15 equals 8x. Divide by 8. 3 point what?
1.8.
Oh, 1.875. There you go. And then it says nearest whole number, so I could just put 2. Okay? They all work together, so you need to get each part right to get the next part right. So they all work together, but just take your time on these questions, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different parts, right? And you have to get them all right. Okie dokie.
Do they have